Anna Brent. Hey, Loner. Hold on, Mario. You really should drop by the casino. I'll let my boys know you're coming. Go on in now. Oh, Mario, right this way. Please, please. Settle in, make yourself at home, enjoy yourself. Lose all your money. The games are rigged. Where's the manager? I want my coins back. It doesn't work that way. It's called gambling. Hello, Investor. I wonder if this thing even ever breaks down and spews out coins. Probably not. It's the first time I've seen water-powered slots. Yeah, we'll come back to that in a minute. Notice there's a source of water nearby, just in case you need it. I used up all my coins. Yeah, I don't have any either. The jumbo slots. Well, 777s is obviously the best you could do. I've yet to see anyone get 777s on both slots. Alright, I'm ready to bet it all on this big roulette wheel. So, when does it start spinning? You mean I can't get any juice in here? Aw. This is huge. Come on. All depends on the machine you choose. Must be careful. Good morning, Justin, Lynn Falkenstein, Hasdus, and Walker. Well, let's go ahead and do this. Well, that's a interesting result. Hey Zaloke, hey Ginger Overseer, hey Blue Up Alex. Hey Valerian. Hey Spartan, hey Mr. Red. Apparently not that great. Whoop. Ah. Is it just not triggering that the 7's there? Or is that what's happening here? No, it is. It's locked in. That is actually a little confusing. Okay, whatever. Moving on. I mean, that would explain a lot, Gingaman. If Gino had just stayed with us this entire time. Hashtag bring back Gino. Alright, whatever. Jesus Christ, Valerian. I mean, that's something. It's progress. Hello, hello, Fidelio. Stormtroopers? Oh god, I don't know, like 50, 100, 300, 700. Oh, for God's sakes. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Ah, thank you, Spartan. As always. And I will jot that down for Halo Wars 2. Yes, EGAD created Flood, as well as the paintbrush, and a whole bunch of other stuff. That might push Halo Wars over the line. I'm not sure. And thank you, whoa, thank you, World's Best Pants, very much, as always. Although you didn't say what you want to put yours towards. Yeah, this... I remember getting stuck on this for very long periods of time. I say stuck. Stuck's not quite the word. Any bit of water, like you just saw, causes the problem that you just saw. Like, there's a method to it, but even that method is not perfect. And any splash, you notice I'm aiming at that, and it's like, no, no, no. There we go. Yeah, we're just gonna try to lower it so we don't splash up. If there's any method to try and get which side they flip to, I am unaware of it. There probably is. But yeah, this is not great. What's funny is this would be really easy to fix. All you'd have to do is make it so that once they're on the correct side, they lock there. Done. Instead of this nonsense. That's actually worse. Yep, nope, that's what I thought. How many of you have seen this before? Where you're like, well... But there's no challenge in this, Hasness. This isn't a challenge. There's nothing interesting, engaging, or difficult about this. I mean, I know you're probably being facetious, but this is the internet. I've gotten a lot of detractors on my YouTube comments lately. I think I cursed myself, because recently I made the comment that, oh yeah, no, I don't get assholes in my YouTube comments. And they've just been coming out of the woodworks lately. YouTube has actually started giving me the, hey, we've hidden these comments for you message, which I usually don't get that message. Okay. You're probably thinking, how do speedrunners deal with this? They go over the wall. And it was all of that, and now we have to deal with this nonsense. Now that we did the stupid part, let's do the hard part. Thoughts on the Mario movie cast? Well, the guy playing Kamek is a good choice. Everything else, not a fan. Well, that depends on how we're defining that, Zillow. Are we going by how they should be, or how they actually are in lore? This is just my life now. Well, if we think about it, Jim Hadar occasionally show competence, whereas stormtroopers have only shown competence twice ever. Like in all of Star Wars. So, by sheer numbers, I think the Jim Hadar win that one. Yeah, you probably saw where the jump was supposed to happen there, Hazardous, and didn't. And you probably saw me react to the fact that the jump didn't happen. I don't know why. I got nothing. Oh, for Christ's sakes, what?! One moment, please. Yes, I know. I've decided that when I take over the world, I'm going to pull all the people who work at music license labels, put them in a giant pile, and just start shooting a machine gun into the pile. The Undertale Theater, which just finished being uploaded for premieres this morning. I'm getting bombarded by copyright claims on it. Just bombarded. What's better is earlier, I got a whole bunch of things saying, hey, just so you know, all of this music is owned by this other person, but don't worry about it, it's not a big deal. Now I'm getting bombarded by, hey, they've decided to monetize your video, just so you know. And you're probably thinking, what? Toby Fox is monetizing my video? No, of course not. Toby Fox doesn't own the music to Undertale. That's not how that works. I just need to double check to make sure these aren't actually going to block the video, because they can do that. They have the right to do that, which is what really pisses me off. Because if they're going to block the Undertale Theater, I'm going to be really pissed. No, it's, hang on. You're not even going to tell me the name of the frickin' company? It's like Materia something is the name of the company. It's some stupid name. I'll just check my emails. Just check my deleted emails. There we go. Materia Music Publishing. That's the guys. That's them. That's them. Yep, nope. I would be 100% okay if all of those people were shot. But, whatever. Moving on. Looks like they haven't blocked it yet. Yeah, that's going to cost me because I lost my momentum on that. Okay, fine. I wish they got shot. But, of course, everything I say is not something that should be taken legally as a... Still, if we ever got the news, someone shoots up a bunch of people, that would actually really suck. That would be terrible. But part of me would be like, thank God. Let him die. Just a part. Just a little part. Copy wrong literally killed me. Too late. Nope, nope, managed it. Video blocked in 221 countries. Oh yeah, by the way, Square doesn't own the music to FF9 either. Because why would they? What kind of insanity would that be? I forget the name of the company that owns their music. But I've already dealt with them. I mean, Bethesda doesn't own the music to Oblivion either. Sony doesn't have anything to do with Square, so... Or rather, FF9, so... That's a good question, Colin Palooza. If you figure out the answer to that, let me know. Well, at the moment, nothing, Walker. Although, you're probably going to see ads on the Undertale Theater because some other company has claimed rights to those videos and is monetizing them. So if there's ads on the Undertale Theater, I didn't put them there. I have ads up on nothing. But they are within their rights, legally, to block those videos if they choose to, because it happens to include music that they happen to own the rights to distribute, which is being said underneath the gameplay, which they do not, underneath voice acting, which they do not. Because that is just how messed up that situation is. Why I get so goddamn pissed off about it. Casino's closed! There are creepy sounds coming from the basement. Can we trick you? I mean, ask you for your help. Oh, thank you! I have no way of knowing that, Zalok. So I have no idea. Probably neither. A. Williams. Oh yeah, let me professionally, formally encourage you to use an ad blocker on YouTube. Because YouTube puts ads on every single video. Like, if you've ever seen an ad on my video, I didn't put it there. Either YouTube did, or the people who owned that video did. I mean, that just makes perfect sense, Ginger Overseer. Yeah, Adblock is free, and we highly recommend it here at the Lore Walkers. So this is a very RNG battle, but that only really matters for speedrunners. Or you can pick it up, Mario. There you go. Good boy. Nope. Okay. Is that my only pepper? Yep, okay. Wasted them both. Cool. Pineapple. No! A pineapple! We have been for a couple days delayed. Obviously, I guess. It can't. Camera. Okay. That's the thing that happened. We're just gonna be over here. Don't mind me. Hello, Zira. Thank you, as always. I have no idea what that would be other than Stormblood, but I'll look it up later. Much appreciated, as always. Thank you. Well, this is when I admit I've never beaten Luigi's Mansion. And I've never played Luigi's Mansion 2. So I'll... No, come back. Did it? Seriously? Come on. I have no idea, Glade. I don't own one. I mean, I don't own the Switch version of one, I should say. I do not use a lapel, and I don't remember if I use a condenser or a dynamic. I use a Blue Yeti, whatever that is. Not only did I play Luigi's Mansion 3, I streamed it. We've even reviewed it. It's a really good game. I love it. All the pluses. So here it is. The terrible, 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 terrible shine. Remember this one? Now, this shine used to piss me off really hard. Like, really hard. In fact, this is the exact shine in which I started getting pissed off at the concept of, why do you die every time you fail it? Because this game does have a live system for some reason. Now, as I've already pointed out, in the original Japanese version, this was arguably bugged because it would be possible to fail and have effectively done nothing wrong. They made that a little bit less horrible when they translated it out, but it's still pretty bad. I will admit I didn't know either of the tricks when I was doing this the first time. Like, I mean, everyone knows how to do, come on, this. But that's not the trick I'm talking about. That's the trick I'm talking about. The shotgun. This is how you do this, right here. Young, and by young I mean in my 20s me, did not know this. So 20s me did this the hard way, and then failed, and then failed, and then failed, and started getting really pissed off at the fact that I kept dying every time. And I kept thinking, what's happening here exactly? Like, are you murdering me just because I failed to clean up your stupid beach in an arbitrary time limit? Is that what's going on? Oh, we're out of water. Mario, the force unclean door. Step, 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 step. Now, I'm probably going to fail this again, because of course I am. Still, this can go to hell. It probably wasn't helped by, as I've mentioned several times, this is when I was playing on a fairly small, effectively portable TV. You know, one you can literally grab and just carry around on one hand. That probably didn't help anything. But seriously, screw this stage. Yeah, the demi... That's a good way to put that. In fact, when we review Kingdom Hearts 2, if we ever review Kingdom Hearts 2, we will probably give a negative to the Demix fight. We might also give a positive, but we will definitely give a negative. What am I missing? What am I missing? What am I missing? Ah! As it's staying on brand. Staying on brand. But screw that stupid level. The question here isn't whether we give this a negative or not. The question is, do we give this a separate negative, or do we just go ahead and give a negative for the rest of Serena Beach? Because Serena Beach has a bunch of really terrible shines. Like, we've got the RNG of the slots, and then we've got the RNG of toggling the thing over. Then we've got the secret stage. Wasn't actually that bad, but still. The fact that you have to go through 2 RNG irritations to access a secret stage is frustrating as hell. Then we've got this mission. There's also... Well, the maze level's okay. I'll give you the maze level, but still. I never expect you to do it so easily. I figured I'd just kill you. Oh yeah, there's also the ray, which can be very frustrating and easy to literally get stun-locked to death. Most attempts I've ever failed that one. Well, remember, I didn't know the shotgun trick even existed. So, 50 or so? Something like that? And you're probably thinking, oh, Laura, you're exaggerating. No, no, I'm not. Yeah, Galaxy has those stupid garbage cleaning challenges, which I also hate, consequently. Did you know that he actually has a health bar that they dummied out for some reason? I only knew that because of the mod, which puts it back in. I have no idea why they got rid of the health bar. Camera. I love how many times my shots just go right over his head, too. No, it was apparently the exact opposite of up the stairs. What the hell? That's weird. I got stuck on the stair edge there. How many negatives do we give Serena Beach? Because this area sucks. Almost every other stage at least has something that I enjoy, but Serena Beach is, in my opinion, the worst world in the entire game. Like, some of these stages either have some good stuff or lots of good stuff and one irritation. Serena Beach just... And yeah, I've already told you, I literally put the game down during Serena Beach. For, like, weeks. Go ahead, A. Williams. I don't either, Glade. Yeah, we're... Correct. Whoops. It is actually Bowser Jr. Spoilers. For a scene we've already seen. Whoop. Yeah, let's see. The modded version allows for open worlds, doesn't kick you out of a stage after you get a shine, gives the health bar back, allows you to change how you access the final stage. In other words, you can just get 70 shines, rather than having to do the specific shines, you know? I don't remember what else. Yeah, I'm referring to Sunburn, consequently. The only one I've ever installed myself. Oops, I'm an idiot. I think it makes it less frustrating to get the 100 coin stars, too. And by stars, of course, I mean shines. Oh yeah, blue coins don't cause you to save every single blue coin. They just kind of pile up. Speaking of which... have I written that down yet? No, that's all good, A-Lambs. I appreciate the consideration. Yeah, the only reason for the blue coins and the 100 coins and all that other aggravation is just for 100%ing. Although, as we all know, 100%ing or optional content does not prevent something from getting a negative. But still, it is weird that they do that, whereas in, say, Mario 64, the requirement to progress is number of stars, which gives a benefit to doing the secret optional stuff if you want to. But whatever. I think we'll go with 2 negatives total for Serena Beach. Just cap that off like that. We got lots of other negatives we're debating. But we'll get to those later. For now, we have to go to this stage. Pianta Village. Let me go ahead and bet the first thing I don't like about this stage. For reasons that are best left to the imagination, it's over a bottomless pit. So we've already got something that irritates me right out the get-go. Just immediately. This is also the lava stage. Now, I'm going to go ahead and show something off really quick. That's what the lava does. Now, the lightning one in Serena Beach does that too. But if I'm not mistaken, those are the only 2 things that just straight up damage you for interacting with the paint. I could be wrong about that. If you're paying attention, I've already told you guys that there are 3 distinct times at which I put the game down for a while. We've already covered one of them. We're about to be at the second one. Yeah, come on. Gee, I don't know. Blood, why don't I try doing that? Which, of course, isn't there right now. There it is. Let's say I know there's water on this stage somewhere. Hey, mister, I think you could spare us a hand here. This dear lady's pets have decided to go on a little rampage. No, not the bees. They're acting normal. Sure. What's up, lady? Oh my goodness, this is awful. Completely awful. My little darlings have nasty fevers, and it's driving them mad. I don't think that's a fever, lady. Normally, I grab their tails and spike them into the ground. But they're too hot to touch. What? Okay, thanks, lady. Thanks. Gramps is just so slow. He left for the spring ages ago and he hasn't returned. Not that it's weird, he pretty much does that every night. Also, this is the weirdest village I've ever seen. I mean, there's what, 2 buildings here? Unless you count these things as buildings, which I guess, I don't know. So comfy, so nice, so relaxing. This is cool. Spring always hits the spot. It's completely refreshing. No better place to cool down than here. So there's all the pieces of the puzzle we need. Call it that. Don't mind me. There we go.
Mario.
That's not cool. There we go. I was gonna say, that better count. Where's the other one? I mean, if you think about how swole Mario's legs have got to be at this point. There you are. Yeah, no iframes with the goop. Which will be fun in a later stage, but we're not there yet. Please stop running from me. Please. Oh my god, you jackass. Come here! Yes, feel free to bring on the ice puns. Lord knows I can use the grin right now. Okay. Camera. Come on. It's right there. Oh, for God's sakes. Oh my god. Now that'd be an interesting scene. The Avengers Nintendo version. So we got Samus, Link, Mario. We have to have like a normie. It would be a normie Avenger for the Nintendo Avengers. Others. Yeah, but like Smash, but actually good. Little Mac, here you go. What's his power? He's got boxing gloves. What? Yeah, he's got boxing gloves. He's really good with them, though. Banjo. There you go. What's his power? He's a bear. Isn't that terrifying? No, no, no. He's like a cartoon bear. Oh. I mean, to be fair, Hawkeye has supernatural situational awareness and arrow shooting ability, aiming ability, whatever you want to call that, so I think that would fit. So we got Little Mac as the Hawkeye. Samus is... That's actually a good question. I mean, Samus is kind of the Hulk of the situation, but that doesn't really fit well. Oh, that's true. We need a Black Widow. Well, the problem is, well, no, I guess we could say Samus is the Iron Man. I was gonna say the problem is Samus is still amazing even outside of the suit, but I guess you could say the same thing about Stark. So, yeah, okay, sure, we'll make Samus the Iron Man. I'm okay with that. Nope, I lose. Yep, okay. Link? Well, since Link's big thing is being a tool user, you're gonna get this blue coin for no reason. Oh yeah, and then he kills you. He murders you if you fail to defeat him. This game, I swear to God. You were too slow. I know where I'm going, game. You know what's really sad is people for a long time tended to speak negatively about this game. And I said this walking in. I said I had no idea what to expect with this game, and I meant it. Because this could be either much better than I remembered or much worse than I remembered. Like this. All bets were off. How many of you have fallen off right at the end there? Do we get to kill him now that he failed the mission? See, I'm not a love it or a hate it here, Hello Fidelio. I am both. I imagine the review will show that. So, here's the stage most people probably remember most from this particular level. Let's take away your flood. We have to, because we need to make sure you don't just get rid of the lava. And go navigate the lava. Now, there's actually a few routes through here, but hell if I remember any of them. I'm just kind of looking for anything that looks like a safe path in. Hi, Michaelvania. And remember, unlike in Mario 64, that lava doesn't give you a big boost, so you can't just use that to make some of these jumps. And you'll notice they painted the lava pretty specifically. Like, oh, I'll just go up here. No, no, they covered that. Good morning, Night Forager. I want to be down there right now. Or maybe we do. Can't use that because we don't have flood. Right. Okay, well, okay. That's alright. As a fresh reminder, there's a bottomless pit below us. Why? Because this game hates you personally. I'm not sure why it does. I don't know what we did to you, game. Why do you beat me, game? I thought we were friends. Yeah, the lack of long jump is weird. Oh, that's another thing that Mario Sunburn adds back in. Let's see what this one leads to. Nothing. Yeah, just strap it on, Mario. Stop letting Bowser Jr. steal it, for God's sakes. Or is it just that you don't care about it? I knew it. Pure evil. Now, I feel like one of the routes I've taken before is the one I'm about to attempt here. And fail at. No. Nope. 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 Ah, Jesus Christ. Okay, fine. We'll do it at floor level. Or we'll get stuck in the terrain. That's even better, actually. I was actually just thinking to myself, you know, rather than making this jump. Nope. So this is what happens if you do land in the lava, if you're wondering. The fact that it forced my direction completely killed that. I thought I could damage my way over there, but apparently I couldn't because it forced my direction backwards. Oh, for God's sakes. Something that Mario 64 had that this does not. Yeah, sure, Lona. It's a good time as any. Thank you for asking for permission, though. Most people don't do that. A much worse game than this one's. Hazardous. Worst game I've ever played. Although I am, at this point, very curious if Sunshine or 64 is gonna win. Because the thing is, Sunshine might win. Purely based on the narrative axis. We'll see. Dead. That's death. No control whatsoever once I'm in the lava.
Mamma mia.
I have not, I'm afraid, Loner. Django might be able to help you with that, but I usually don't bother with builds in KOTOR 1, to be completely honest. So, I'm not the person to ask that. You know what's funny about that, Hazardous? I know that you're incredibly biased, but if you asked me... 4 days ago now? Something like that? However long it's been prior to playing Sunshine. Which game was better, 64 or Sunshine? I wouldn't even hesitate. I'd say Sunshine, easily and effortlessly. Of course Sunshine's better. I've seen at least 4 jumps so far that I could make with a long jump. Not that I'm making a point or anything, it's just I keep looking at jumps as if I should be able to long jump them, because it's a 3D Mario game, and you just kind of have that mental calculation of distances you can make, right? Well, I do think Sunshine is substantially better on the narrative axis. I do prefer the controls. I think Flood is better than the caps, for example, over in Mario 64. Obviously the visuals are better. Duh. You notice I'm stopping now. I'm not sure if this is the only one without the long jump, but I know it's one of the few. I mean that, Hazardous. I mean, you can make fun all you want. You can belittle me all you want. Wouldn't be the first time. But between the visuals, the aesthetic, the NPCs, the flavor, the tone, the music, this game has a much better story axis than Mario 64, and I stand by that. In fact, I'm pretty sure this game is going to crush 64 on the story axis. Now, I'm not quite as sure about the gameplay axis anymore. Because this is just way more frustrating than I remember. Oh, and unlike 64, all of this crap is mandatory. So there's that extra negative for the mandatory stuff. Oh, Galaxy is going to crush both like a bug. In fact, Galaxy has crushed both like a bug. Even without an audit run, I'm pretty sure Galaxy wins. I will agree that the camera's better too, which is just duh. No, that's the plot in Pestor. As we've discussed before, most Mario games have either no plot or bare bones plot. No. Where games like this shine on the narrative axis is how they present context, because story ultimately is just the context for the gameplay. So things like visuals, background, you know, what you're looking at, why you're going through certain section, audio design, animations, all of that stuff informs the story axis of games like this. There we go. No. It's why we can give pluses to story to a Mega Man game, for example. That's exactly what I was trying to avoid, but whatever. I'm not sure if Galaxy beats Sunshine in the story acts. That's a good question. I'm not sure. Because Sunshine has far more coherent visual storytelling, since it's all this one island, and well, you can always see the other parts, and there's the frickin' festival out there, right there. Hell, you can actually see the theme park in the distance, too. Today's Tuesday. Oh, right, it's Thanksgiving this week. It's like, why are they out there early? Because it's Thanksgiving this week. Galaxy is probably the second... no, I'd say the most plot we've had in terms of storytelling in the Mario series. Yeah, that's the downside. So as much as I do praise the story of Sunshine, the plot of Sunshine is extremely bad. I hope that they didn't decide... I keep thinking I can make that with a long jump. I hope they didn't decide to not do any more voice acting for the Mario series. Specifically because of how this game was received, you know? Because holy crap. Peach is a moron. Bowser's just kind of weird. Bowser Jr. has nothing done for him. Mario's an idiot. Just, ugh. And yeah, Galaxy 2... well, okay. So Galaxy 2 was either gutted of a story or never had a story to begin with. Depending on who you ask. I've never been able to 100% nail down that one because people disagree. Like you do. I think it wants me to go this way, so we're going to go and go this way. Oh yeah, that's ignoring the stupidity of that stupid trial, which still pisses me off to this very day. I mean, it is definitely intentionally goofy and dumb. The question is whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, not whether it is or not. Okay. Well, this is not the way to go. I think it's the B button. If it's not, I'm just gonna fall. Okay. This is... I love having to guess which button does what on that. That's always fun. That's another thing that's better in this game, wall jumping. The movement tick in general feels better other than the points where it was literally removed. Oh, I might actually be stuck now. I might be able to make it over there. Probably not, though. What's that meme? Well, guess I'll die. There's actually two jumps they removed. The long jump and the backward somersault, the backward flip, whatever. They have this, but they don't have the crouch and then jump thing. So the movement tech is better, except when they literally removed it. Yep, nope. Alright, whatever. I'm just gonna kill myself. I accept death. The death sound hazardous. I guess that's true. There is the shotgun burst. It's almost like you don't have that when you don't have flood, though. Actually, I should try that before I say that. Hang on, hang on. Let's verify. Nope. There actually is no shotgun backwards jump when you don't have flood. Okay, well, I'm officially tired of this level, so I'm just going to Google it. I do not know the route through here. So yeah, we're just gonna nope right out of that. Yeah, I don't know if you noticed, Hazardous, I was actually forgetting which exact step with the chomps I was going to do. Because I was thinking about the gold chomp, which is actually a separate step. I hope you like low health sounds. I'm going for the right area. I might be going for the wrong area. Where am I at? Okay, I actually want to go with that. I am going for the wrong area. Sweet. Apparently this is not the intended route, but it is a possible route, so, you know, whatever. Got a little more health, I would just go for that, but I do not, so I am not. Get that any further. Nope, that's dead. I mean, yeah, this... So, if I haven't made it very clear, this is the other stage. 2 of 3 that I quit the game for a few weeks on. At the time, I didn't know about the trick I was just using. So I just went the intended route, which is navigating the underside and just trying to figure out where you're going through and dying instantly if you make any mistakes. Because that's how that works. And then having to start all the way over, go all the way back in, see this thing, hit A, mash A through him taking your thing, mash A through the cutscene here, and then get back into the game. I hate to belabor that point, but it really helped drag this whole level down when, you know, dying was on the menu. Longest I ever quit 64? A couple years, I think? It maybe a couple years. It was about a year, give or take. You could probably even guess the star. Well, in my defense, Mario 64 had been pissing me off in general at that point in time, because I had just been going through Rainbow Ride, so... It was, in fact, the 100 star for Rainbow Ride. Which is funny, because that's the star that I quit this time on, too! The exact star! Huh. I did not mean to do that. Yeah, Rainbow Ride can go to hell. Just absolutely go to hell. I hate Rainbow Ride so much that I will probably never 100% this save game of Mario 64 because of Rainbow Ride. Entirely because of Rainbow Ride. Damn it. Oh my god, these frickin' things. Stop spreading the lava. You know, if I had a long jump... Alright, hang on. Let's try this. Nope, I missed. Death. Yeah, as I say, at least it is within the... Like I said, this is why that's going to be a separate negative. The mandatory thing is going to be a negative, because there's no skipping this. There's either quitting the game or doing this level. Those are your options. Have fun. Those are the choices. And that's why that's a separate negative. Also, I was thinking about it, Hazvis, your logic doesn't really track for me. Something being mandatory and being good doesn't make it good, because something mandatory is by default a negative. So, there would be no situation in which a mandatory thing being good would add an additional positive. It doesn't work that way. What's interesting is there is a Yoshi stage in this level. You know, whatever. No, of course not, Gigaman. But my point is, mandatory can only ever be a negative modifier. So it's either non-relevant, because it's good, or it's a magnifier of bad, because it's bad. Thanks for that. No, turn. Why do you always do that, Mario? Why are you so terrible? Okay.
Whoa.
Hey, who girl? Actually, no, Loner. Options are not innately a good thing. Just like mandatories aren't innately a bad thing. And you're probably thinking, but that's what you just said. Yes, but something being mandatory and good doesn't automatically make it a negative, does it? Like I just said. Something being an optional and bad doesn't automatically make it better. That being said, options do tend to lead towards good. Just like mandatory tends to lead towards bad. A good option is absolutely a positive. Whoop, that was not the button I meant to hit there. That's just me screwing up there. If I had a long jump, I would already have made this. I just feel like pointing that out. No reason. Oh, there is hazardous. I have no idea where it is, and the guide I just looked up doesn't tell me either. Which is funny to me, by the way. That they wouldn't even tell you the intended route, just this route. Bowser is, in fact, the last boss for no good reason. He literally shows up for the final 2 cutscenes. Right before the last boss, which is a terrible boss fight, by the way. And then the ending, and that's it. Well, I missed because depth perception, and now I'm gonna die. Oh.
Mamma mia.
Okay. This is... Wow. That was the best run I had yet, too, with regards to clearing up the goop. Because there's a bit of RNG with where the splashes go, if you're not aware of that. B plus Y? Yeah, sure, we'll try that. Here we go. This is it. This is it. It's gonna be a long jump. I'm ready! Huh! Anyway, so that is probably what you're referring to, Sean, and no, that is not a long jump. The arc and distance are completely different. Well, let's see if I can find the actual route through this stupid stage, because this is obviously not happening. Apparently this is the specific hole that we want to enter. Go ahead, get your crude jokes out of the way. I'll tolerate it. Oh yeah, by the way, have fun getting 100 coins on this level. Thank you, Shadow Machine. So, now we play a guessing game. Which button moves it? I think it's this one? Okay. So if you're not familiar with it, in order to make the platform move horizontally versus vertically, are actually different buttons. It's reversed. So, you know, that sucks. Hi! Hi. Oh, by the way, that may look like safe terrain down there, but you know how some terrain is painted as slidey? Well, guess what all of that tree is down there? So I think it's this button. And I'm wrong. And I'm dead. So it wasn't that button. Because I'm just guessing each time. So I've never heard of the Last Stand Legacy Collection, Mr. Red. So here's how this goes. You know this, but I'm going to tell you it. Just make sure other people hear it. Yeah, who thought switching that was a good idea? There we go. Go ahead and give me a backup, Mr. Red. That's already on the list. And thank you very much for the subs. I do always appreciate. I mean, honestly, I feel like Sunshine's score is going to plummet a bit with these last few stages. So, the Last Stand Legacy Collection. Hang on, where were we? Nope, wrong thing. Come on. I'm pretty sure this game will be a net positive. Oh yeah, then there's Corona Mountain, which is also going to lower its score a little bit. But we'll get there. We'll get there. Or we'll do it first shot. We'll see. What's the name of this stupid stage? Pianta Village. This is the second one right now, Saber for Wife. There's the first one, which was the cleaning the beach. There's the second one, which is this one we're on right now. There is still a third one we haven't reached yet. Tools on Falkenstein. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? Like, mobile controls to me sounds like a bad thing in general, but... Either way, this level, this stage, this exact star, shine, is getting a negative by itself. No question. Even if you argue that it's not that hard, or not that easy, or not that simple, or not that basic. The flat reality is that this is not a particularly well-designed stage, especially given this is a Nintendo game. Stage design is kind of what they do best. Now, if you don't understand what I mean by that, let me try and explain a little bit. One of the things that they do very, very well is they make it so that here's the end point, here's the beginning point, and here's a whole lot of set pieces in between point A and point B. Figure it out. Now, it's not like they do this really complex, insane, you have 75 routes to the thing, but even if we go all the way back to Super Mario Bros. 1, even those stages still had multiple intended paths, multiple routes, multiple options, because that's kind of the level design thing that Nintendo does, the core Nintendo team. This stage is the exact opposite of that. Oh, jeez. Okay. So here's the catch. You keep saying it's Y, or B, or A. I don't have B and A. I have Y and B. So we're gonna go with Y. Okay, it was Y. So on vertical things, it's Y. Someone write that down. We're gonna start doing this all professional-like. On vertical stuff, it's Y. Which means, by default, on horizontal stuff like this, it is B. Yep, okay. Well, that means you weren't paying attention, Sean. That always makes me sad when someone doesn't listen to me. But that's okay, I don't blame you. So, there are 5 separate orders in which you can watch TOS. I talked about that during my very first TOS video, and I mentioned that we would be doing them in production order, as opposed to release order, re-release order, or remaster order. Which are all separate. So this is Y. Okay. We've used the scientific method to figure out how to navigate. Okay. Now, I think I want to go this way. Maybe? Hang on. I'm not sure I want to go. Hang on. Let's look at the thing here. Let's look at the guide that I've closed now because I'm stupid. Okay, here we go. So we're under here. What? Okay, so that doesn't help at all. I think it wants me to go over there, which is wondrous. But it could also mean over there, because it mentions an Electric Koopa. And there's 2 Electric Koopas, and they're in different directions. Where am I going, game? Okay, I think it wants me on the underside. Alright, so let's see if we can get to the underside without dying, which is not going to happen. Okay, good enough. Alright. We gotta go from the underside to the overside. And then the other side. But yeah, even, again, ignoring irritation, ignoring the frustration, ignoring how many attempts it takes, I think I could fairly simply prove that this is a definitively bad level design. Even in Mario Sunshine, which has some very questionable shines, this is probably the worst design, even though it's not the one that I remember the worst. And it isn't. Even though I did quit the game over this stage. No, the one I remember the worst is that stupid cleaning the beach one. Why do they kill me every time I fail? I don't understand. Did I mention the controls under here can flip depending on something I don't actually understand? It's also mandatory, yep. Just like the beach cleaning was. Just like Black Airway is. Why? Okay, it's just kind of verifying for myself there. Yeah, like that. See, the controls just flipped there, and I'm not actually sure what causes that to happen. That's why I did a test run there. Okay, over. I've got 3 minutes. Oh god, I'm hurrying, Jeff Bezos! I'm hurrying, Father. Please, don't kill me, Father, just because I intend to kill you and take over the company. Whoa, that was some wonkiness. Did you see that? Can't believe I made that. Yeah, welcome to another floodless section. Isn't it interesting how most of the terrible levels are the floodless sections? Huh. Weird how that works out. Anyways, thank you, Faded Kirby, very much for the sub. Despite everything, I appreciate very much. Thank you. If you happen to know where you want to put that, please let me know. Alright, so now we go up. What? It took me with it! I wasn't on it, and it took me with it!
Whoa.
You know what's also funny? Did you know Mario Sunshine was a rushed game? I mean, that's probably obvious given how much we keep talking about content that was cut from the game, but it was. This was actually a rushed title. Partially because the GameCube wasn't doing all that well financially. Want to hear something else that's funny? Mario Sunshine sold so well it actually broke records at the time. And, in fact, was able to outsell several other games that were coming out at the same time, including, as I mentioned before, Grand Theft Auto 3, which, if you remember, was a console mover. Despite that, this game still sold under expectations. Take that with the gigantic grain of salt that it deserves. Point in fact, there were actually two games that were coming out around the same time, which undersold, according to what Nintendo Corporate wanted them to sell. This, and Metroid Prime. Ironically, Metroid Prime was not a rushed game. It had an extremely troubled production, ironically, but it wasn't rushed. Yeah, exactly, Hazardous. But, you know, I don't want to get into that right now. Is it just 2 players, Dakota? I mean, that's fine. It's just, you know, I need to know because I have 3 separate categories of co-op. 2-player, 3-player, and 4-player. Depending on who's on that particular day. So we're just gonna wait. Metroid Dread, I think, is one of the very few Metroids that sold exceptionally well. A. There we go. Yep, okay. Now, if I make any mistake here, like getting knocked into the lava, I can't believe that didn't happen. This is death. Because of how the lava mechanics work. Because screw you! Hey look, we made it to that spot we've been trying to get to for a while now. Okay, 2 players, Well, actually, so far the announcement that I've seen, and there has been an announcement about it, has said that Dread overperformed. And there's freaking Flood. You saved me, thanks a bundle. The whole town is still covered in lava, but you saved me! Okay, I was about to say, I'm gonna write that down, but if you link me in Discord, I'll have it there. Try and sell it at PAX. Okay, that's done with. That's 2 of 3. 2 of 3 stars, shines. I've quit this game over. No, I didn't catch it, Zach. Sorry, I was really concentrating. I didn't want to die there. Now, I should probably mention, each time I keep mentioning quitting the game, that's my first playthrough. Back when I first picked up this game. I got to the stupid beach, and I put the game down for a while. Then I got to the goop, and then I put the game down for a while. And then I got to a 3rd stage, and I put the game down for a while. The 100% playthrough, I just knuckled down and did it. Because I'm insane, apparently. How did I ever 100% this game? We have not done the Pachinko level. In fact, I don't actually remember how to get to the Pachinko level off the top of my head, because it's not a mandatory level. We do need to show it off, so if somebody can remind me of where that is. Not now, just, you know, at some point. There we go. Oh, wasn't letting me pick it up. That's okay. So there's a little bit of RNG here. I'll kind of help a little bit here. I wouldn't mind as a chomp as a pet. One of the first stuffed animals I ever gave my niece was actually a chain chomp. That's probably close enough. Yep, he's going the wrong way. Come here, come here, come here. Or don't. Come on. Come here. Come here. Hi, Juju's. I have no idea where that school is, but if you say it's good, I'll trust you on that, Zacto. Wait, how else is it going to give a shine if it's not made of gold? That's just logic. Honestly, the thing is, and I've been noticing this, most of the enjoyable parts of this game are more early on, aren't they? Which is pretty typical for any game that's rushed. You can really tell when they start pushing the envelope. It's like, okay, let's just ship it, just ship it. So we need to get a Yoshi. And then take it underground somewhere. I don't even remember where exactly. Somewhere down there. Then we need to use that to unlock the secret stage. And then we get to do a secret stage where we will die over and over and over. And, yes, delayed. A few of the Metroid games weren't rushed. I don't remember which, because I don't have the numbers in front of me. Twilight Princess wasn't rushed, but that was, let's be honest, that's a Wii game. So that doesn't count. Yeah, I was gonna say, Melee was rushed, Sunshine was rushed, Wind Waker was rushed. I don't know if Luigi's Mansion was rushed. I've never looked into the specifics of it. I've already forgotten. Okay. Actually, from everything I've understood, because I have looked into the behind the scenes of Other M, Other M was not rushed. In fact, Other M had no production issues whatsoever. That's actually wild. Other M is just Other M. Hi, Innocents. I gotta remember where the hell I'm going. Yeah, personally, I always put the... Now, I've never reviewed them, but I always put the Wii Smash Brothers as the best Smash Brother game. But you probably know why that is. Yeah, exactly, Gallade. The dude whose name I can't think of, the director, he worked on Fusion as well. He didn't let his team stretch in the ways he probably should. Because a good director, don't mistake me, should have control over their product. I firmly believe in that. But they should also be willing to listen to input. You know, there's a reason I have that phrase, dictator with counsel, right? Am I gonna have to go down? I think I'm gonna have to go down over here. Alright, whatever, let's do it. Because I don't actually remember exactly where I'm going. I know it's over there somewhere. Yeah, aka the Star Wars prequel problem, exactly. Georgie boy, at least on episode 1, really... I'm not gonna make that. Really should have listened a little bit more. Anyways. But yes, Subspace Emissary is why I like Smash Brothers on the Wii. I don't know how good the actual fighting is compared to the other ones, and I don't care that much. It has something to do. A fighting game without a campaign mode is just not interesting to me. Never has been. So what's wrong with Smash 4? I don't think I even own Smash 4. What's wrong with Ultimate? That's a good question. I haven't reviewed Ultimate yet. No idea. It's on the list to be funded someday. Yeah, I loved a lot of the concepts of Subspace. And it wasn't just... The other reason I praise Subspace isn't just on the narrative axis, but the fact that they bothered to make them actual stages and levels and challenges that aren't just beat up the other guy. Like, this is a bad example, but let's look at Street Fighter 2, which is the fighting game I know the best, other than Dissidia. In Street Fighter 2, what's the campaign mode? Beat all the other people, and then beat the big four, and then you win. Now, there's tiny little snippets of cutscenes, and there's an ending, but that is kind of it, right? It's not really much of a campaign mode, but it's what was there. By contrast, Smash Bros. Brawl actually had a campaign mode. It actually had stuff to do. Levels and progression, and the subspace maze, and blah, 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 blah. Yeah, that's a trap. Oh yeah, they also did some fun team-ups in Subspace Emissary too. That's a very valid point. Oh yeah, it was also a campaign co-op mode, while we're on the subject, because you can play it with a friend. Yeah, no, there's a reason I hold the Wii one up so high in my memory. Alright. So if I'm not mistaken, this is the Chuckya one. And I am not mistaken. So all that nonsense we just went through. Now we're on the Chuckya stage. That's what a Chuckster is. Now, you actually have a degree of control over your movement when you're in the air. But, yeah, I don't think I need to say anything to this stage. I'm gonna mute myself because the blonde people are here early because Thanksgiving. Now, I actually did that on purpose because I wanted to show something off. Did you know that the angle they chuck you at is relative to the angle at which you talk to them? Now, the best part is if you screw that up, there's no chance to fix it. There's no way to resolve it. You're stuck with that. Goodbye. Okay, they finally moved on. Sorry for staying silent so long. They were just sitting outside my window with the leaf blower or whatever that is, just going. Just sitting there with it on. For like 5 minutes or however long that was. It's okay, Ross, I understand. If it makes you feel any better, I didn't give it a blue or a lamentation status. Okay. So yeah, soft locking, that's cute. There might be some way out of that, but I don't know. It's just whatever. So I was thinking about this, and I will give this to you, Hazardous. Consider this me, reaching out to you a little bit. On the one hand, Mario 64 can be fixed with one change. Granted, it should use more changes. I do think there's plenty of things that should be fixed in Mario 64, but there is one change that would definitively improve Mario 64. We've already talked about it. the checkpointing thing with the coins, right? Or just checkpoints in general. Technically, you could say that's two things. You know, you fix the checkpoints and you fix the coins, and then we're good. But you get my point, right? I don't think Sunshine has a single thing that can fix it. Sunshine needs a polishing pass. Sunshine needs developers to go through on a stage-by-stage basis and be like, alright, hey. Oh, okay, that's cool. I'm cool. And just, okay, what can we fix about this stage? Well, let's nudge, nudge, nudge. And most of the fixes are admittedly minor things, but the point is you have to do that everywhere. Virtually every stage needs some kind of fixes. You know? What? Yeah, par exemple. I probably play the classic right now after Hexia. Among other things, it has more, you know, mod support, so that's nice. Here, give me a life. I need to start getting these, because I don't want to do that freaking Yoshi thing again. Or, let's just miss completely. That's cool. That's cool. I'm cool. Everything's cool. See, the thing is, and I don't want to sound too negative, because I don't like sounding negative, but this game sucks and it's the worst game ever made! No, I'm joking, I'm joking. I was pretty positive about this game until I started reviewing it. Oh, for frick's sakes. But I mean that. I mean that with total sincerity. Like I was telling Hasdus. If you asked me a few days ago, I would say, oh yeah, Mario Sunshine's awesome. And then I started replaying it. That's too far away. No, I mean, it is, you could call that nostalgia, but I don't agree. What it tends to be is I tend to remember two things very clearly. I remember the good, and I remember the very bad. So, there's several good things that I really enjoy in Mario Sunshine, and I've given plenty of positives for those things. I also tend to remember the really bad. As I've said, the first time I ever played this game, I quit this game 3 times. Oh, by the way, this is not the 3rd time. I think the first time I played this, I just got piss lucky on this stage. Like, I really think that's all that happened, because I don't actually have very many strong memories of this stage, which is funny because it's probably one of the worst designed stages in the entire game, with the possible exception of the Pachinko level. Yeah, Bianca Hills is pretty legit. And so is the theme park, and the harbor has a couple of irritations. Okay, that's cool. I'm cool. But yeah, you can really tell when they started rushing, because it's really, really obvious. What? You saw that, right? I'm a Chuckster. And then we get to this guy. Everyone's favorite Chuckster. I don't even know if the trick works in this version. Yeah, they just respawn, so there's no real reason to do that. I'm pretty sure there's a red coin level for this level. And I'm pretty sure it's the worst thing in the friggin' universe. Let's see if the trick works. It worked. Yay. Anyways, money people, Colin Plusso, is actually the reason. The money people were insisting... So, there's no nice way to say this. By the time the GameCube, PS2, and Xbox came out, money people had started... I'm saying the wrong one. Had already been really invested in video gaming. That's the way I want to phrase that. In other words... video gaming, investors and financial sectors and corporations had started realizing the scope and scale of what video games were and how they could make money off of them and so forth and so on. And so they started really getting their grips in. Now, they started doing that earlier. Right about the SNES and the PS1 are actually right about when that started happening. Wait. But by the time the PS2, the Xbox, and the GameCube were out, it was officially big, and so money people were officially throwing their weight around, and we got several rushed games. Yeah, someone mentioned Halo 2, which is actually an excellent example of that. We got lucky with Halo 2, but you get the point. People really started saying, all right, come on, quarterly return, let's go, let's go, let's go. And we've never left that era of gaming, really. We either get lucky exceptions, or indie games, or rushed games. GTA Remaster, excuse me. Yeah, one of the things I will always give Iwata credit for is trying to shove that mentality out the window. Oh, Christ, this stage. So Jeff Bezos is gonna kill me again here in a minute. Or about 3 minutes, actually. Yeah, exactly, Dakota. Yep, Jeff Bezos is gonna kill us. You heard it here. Jeff Bezos is a murderer. You can quote me on that. Oh, for God's sakes. There. Really? Oh my God, stop blocking your buddy there. Jesus. Stop being greedy. Oh my God. There's no water. I forgot about that. There's no water. I mean, we do still get exceptions even from the big boys. We did get Doom 4 and Doom Eternal from the likes of ZeniMax, and we did get Metroid Dread recently. I guess that's technically a Microsoft now, isn't it? But whatever, you get the point. Okay. Capcom's been on a heater for a while. Although I am wondering where the hell my friggin' Mega Man is. I don't remember where the last one is. Damn it, be clean! Also, these people are covered in lava. Remember what this stuff does to us? Because I do. I don't remember where the last one is. I'm gonna die because I don't know where the last one is. Oh, there he is, there he is. Okay, Jeff Bezos didn't have to murder me. We're okay, we're okay. He was out there with the gun, just staring at me like, you know. Okay. Whoop. Painting with diesel, maybe? Or diesel ink? Or painting on the edge? Depends on which name you want to go for there. Painting on the edge implies, though. These paintings are so edgy. They're to die for. Oh, I remember this one, because he leaves the frickin' lava paint. Yeah, I remember this one. Good news is, he doesn't have a lot of irritating terrain to maneuver through, so... Come here, Bowser Jr. Stop being a prat. Quit it. Decrease pratness. There's only one prat in this world, and he's voicing Mario. Wait. And there come the lawn people. Hello? Okay. Shine get. So. So we're not actually done once we finish this off. Oh my god, the town's flooded! Which would be a cool concept if they did anything with it, which they don't, of course. Well, we did give that scene a negative in Pestor, so I guess that answers your question. Hey, Darth Medoro. You know, we're gonna take a look around. We could go straight to the last dungeon, but we're gonna take a look around. The new Corona Mountain was so full of water. Debs alert. Delfino Plaza has recently experienced a waterfall-like deluge of rain in all areas. Residents are advised to seek shelter on rooftops to avoid the rising flood waters. Cute! Yeah, the flood goes away immediately. So this is so irritating. And again, this reminds me of... I'm saying that wrong. This is another example of how the game was rushed. They bothered to place an entire state of the stage where the people are different and say different things. The boat has a different thing. Some of the terrain is different. Which only shows up for this second, basically. Like, we could go straight for the last stage, and then if we leave, it's gone. It goes back to normal. You can't tell me that they didn't plan for this to be a thing, right? Like, you can't tell me that this wasn't intended to be more than just a snapshot. Whoops! And I agree, it's a cool concept. It's just, they really didn't do anything with it. Master Marge, you see that a fountain of water? It crashed down like a tidal wave, and it seems hot. Yep, now there's S-Diesel and Diesel Edge. I have 2 Diesels in my chat. That's just, like, having multiple of some names isn't really weird, but 2 Diesels? That's just unusual. No, I do the spin jump more in other games. I don't know why I don't do it much in this one, admittedly. I guess it's just more natural to me to do this when I need to do a high jump, like that. If I need to do a really high jump, then yeah. I mean, I did this a lot early on, if you were paying any kind of attention, because there's a lot of verticality in some of the earlier stages, and I wanted to get up high. So whenever I really want to get up high, that's when I do it. But in normal playthrough, not really. Or normal maneuvering, rather. Yeah, I'll test it in a moment, Gingaman. I want to see something really quick here. Hate that sound. I don't think I can reach the Pachinko level right now. Which is fine. I was just curious. Yeah, I don't... Well, we... Try it. Can you let me up? There we go. So, the Pachinko level. Everyone knows the Pachinko level. Do you know why this level sucks? Because it's actually extremely easy to explain. Yeah, the stuff that's painted slippery here is kind of weird. To say the least. But also, it's easier than it sounds to slip over that tiny little lip, which is to prevent you from going out to death and die. But no, there are two major reasons. One is the obvious. They're testing out that other physics engine, you know, the one that's in the, bloodless stages. And then there's the fact that there's just kind of RNG. There's just sort of RNG. There's no controlling this, really. There's no deciding which direction you want to go in. Actually, I have Hazardous. Probably doesn't surprise you. Funnily enough, I don't get the appeal of Pachinko, but then again, I don't get the appeal of gambling for the most part, so I'm the wrong person to ask that one. I know a couple of Mario Sunshine speedrunners who absolutely dread 100% runs because of the Pachinko stage. In fact, I've seen a few people who, in their routes, they put the Pachinko stage very early on because they need to do it within a certain amount of time, otherwise it's a waste of time. And they need just to reset, so they push that reset early. Do you see that right there? Do you see that? You see that collision? So that's why the nozzle doesn't really help that much. You really do have to kind of actually get the initial in. See that? See that? Yeah, that is the reason why this stage sucks. Random. It is random. It's physics the stage. Yeah, it's pretty much the exact same reason the throw stage sucks. Funny how that works out. I mean, I'm sure there's someone in the world who is not Japanese who likes Pachinko. That would not be a thing I would find surprising. Oh, too late. I admittedly don't know. I don't like gambling in general, and I live in the States where gambling is the third biggest industry in the country, so... I'm kind of the wrong person to ask about that. Oh, yeah, you see that? You see that? God, but... Oh, I'm dead. No recovery. Start all over. Yeah. Anyways, I wanted to at least show this off. Gambling, Mr. Red. Oh, ha ha ha. And yeah, even the shine itself is part of the randomness where it pops in.
Yeah. Phew.
Yeah, we like to call them surprise mechanics. Yeah, no, I stand by that. Sorry, I was debating my thoughts there. Anyways. So let's test the Chrono Mountain thing. Oh, right. So Mario Kart hazardous? Oh, excuse me.
Only Santa Claus.
I love this song. This is actually probably my second favorite song in the game, which is good, because this is the third stage I quit the game over. Yeah, it's the boat. This part's fine. In fact, I actually enjoy this part. But there's the boat, and then there's actually one other thing, which I imagine most people don't remember. I myself probably wouldn't remember it if not for the fact that, you know, speedrunners hate this stage for the exact same reasons that I do. Funny how that works out. Oh, not the boat. Speedrunners just zoom the boat. It's terrifying watching them in action. I disagree with that. There should be a mid-mission checkpoint here. There isn't, of course. So yeah, there's this sucker. This is how you steer. I use the word steer very loosely. If this thing so much as touches anything, it sinks instantly. And this is instant death lava, which I guess is redundant because the last lava was effectively instant death lava anyways. You may or may not notice the boat tends to also drift a little bit, so it's actually relatively easy while you're trying to do very precise minor movements to drift to death. And of course, no mid-mission checkpoint, so we can start all the way over. Because that's how that works. I think it's supposed to be made of stone, which makes the sinking even weirder, but whatever. I'm way too close to that. Nope, we're dead.
Mamma mia.
And of course, there's a life. They make the life very easy to grab. It's like they knew. It really is like they knew. You can almost see the developers thinking, this stage needs more work. But we have to get this stage done by next Tuesday. Put a 1-up right at the beginning. That'll mitigate it. Hi, MLP Vermin. So the boat is the first bad part. I'll go ahead and tell you about the second bad part, because it's probably going to take us forever to even reach it. The second bad part is the final boss fight. How many of you even know how random the final boss fight is? And I know I say that so strangely. I don't mean to sound elitist about it. What I mean by that is some people may or may not be aware of how random the final boss fight is because of, you guessed it, physics. During the first slam, no problems. Second slam, well, the second slam, there's a couple issues. On the third slam, the platform is going all over the place. The flood, the goop, which is, you know, hot water, so it damages you, is going all over the place. And the crumbling platforms don't quite physics right. So there's a lot of bugginess in just moving around the stage, and it's actually very possible and easy to completely lose on the third thing just because of how buggy the physics are for that entire section. Now, I'm pretty sure the final boss has a checkpoint. We don't have to do the boat after we die to the final boss, which we will assuredly do. But the clouds don't have a checkpoint. It's okay, the clouds aren't that bad. It's just, I have failed in the clouds before and been very upset about that. No. No. Turn! Oh yeah. You see those blue coins? Do you see them? We are obviously not 100%ing, but if you ever wonder why I say the blue coins can go to hell, there's a reason. Right there.
Mario.
So then there's this part. This part isn't too bad. We'll probably die 17 times on it as a result of me saying that. I do want as many lives as I can going into Bowser, because there's no one-ups on Bowser. So, you know. That's true, the blue coins are in hell. And they deserve to be. You like doing platforming with no sense of depth perception or distance, right? Because your shadow doesn't show up properly. Oh my god, that was actually quite close. I have 100% of this game, Mr. Red, and I will never do it again. Notice we can't refill our water up here, by the way? I think there's actually a way to refill water. Yeah. Yeah, imagine if that platform wasn't there. God, imagine if that platform wasn't there. Almost there. Okay, thank God.
The water's great, hey, Junior?
Sure is, Papa. Come on in, Mama Peach. I think not. Mario! You again? Don't you ever give up?
Mario! How dare you disturb my family vacation?
Just put on a few pounds there. Yeah, just bizarre cutscene. I don't even know what's going on in that cutscene. So, we're of course over an instant death area. Why wouldn't we be? Well, it's not water, and it does damage to you. By the way, if we game over here, we have to do that whole thing over again. And that water is really random, as all water is in this game, with where it hits. But we were okay on that one. Camera is definitely your enemy on this stage, because the camera really wants to fixate on Bowser, which can throw you pretty badly. So I mentioned physics. Did you notice me clip through the ground there? Because that's what happened. Now, there are one-ups in this stage. Holy crap. You're also on a timer, because if you take too long, it's unrecoverable if you fall from that. That's cute, too. Peach is fine. She's fine. Don't worry about it. She's just out there on a barely sustainable thing, which is, well, about to go to hell. It's okay, Peach can hover, as we'll see in a moment here. That was actually a little close. Just wait patiently. Mind me. I'm just gonna wait patiently. You know what? Fine. That's why I didn't want to do that. That's exactly why I didn't want to do that. Oh my god. Yeah, no. Ellies are. They are worse in literally every way, shape, and form. Let's make sure we don't do that freaking boat again, shall we? Nobody wants to see me do that boat again, least of all me. Anyways, so negative for Corona Mountain, and negative for the final boss. Who's with me? Broken physics, the fact that it's extremely easy to lose progress on this due to no fault of your own. And honestly, it's a little bit too long. And, you know, the fact that there's nothing really interesting about it either. It's just, well, oh yeah, and for some reason, this kills Flood. I believe that didn't hit me. Time. As much as I like the story of this game, the actual cutscenes are kind of terrible. Like, we're gonna have this big sad cutscene that Flood is dead.
Mario, was I assist
Mario, look.
Junior, I've got something difficult to tell you about Princess Peach.
I know, she's not really my mama. Someday, when I'm bigger, I wanna fight that Mario again.
That's right, boy. Well put, son. The Royal Koopa line is as strong as ever. But for now, let's just rest a while.
1 minute and 28 seconds.
The vacation starts now.
He was dead for 1 minute and 28 seconds. I think that's a new record. I think Goofy was dead for longer than that in frickin' Kingdom Hearts 2. I hate that scene in Kingdom Hearts 2. Thank you, Lolimloss, very much. I will put that towards Dawn of War 2. That's why I was counting, if it's not obvious. One minute, 28 seconds, Shadow Machine. I was counting that. I don't know what I said, but what I meant was 1 minute, 28 seconds. These are cool pictures. I'll give you that. Well, actually, we have a little bit more to do before we audit. Believe it or not. And no, the next game we're playing is Doom. A game I'm going to severely suck at. I turned the difficulty down on that one. Completely unnecessary post-credit scene. That means nothing and does nothing. Your timing is terrible as usual, Izar. I didn't even see your question. But is this game better than Mario Galaxy? No! Where would you even get such a perspective? How could you possibly perceive that as such a thing? Who would ever say that this game is better than Mario Galaxy? Okay. When did I say that this game is better than Mario Galaxy? No, really. I know that I tend to say things, like, mixed up a little bit because of the dyslexia thing, but I have no idea what you're talking about. Well, we have some options here. We can show off some of the optional shines and how terrible they all are. Or... You're on crack, Elizar. You are on so much crack. Does anybody else know what Elizar is talking about? Because I don't. What was I talking about? I've lost my train of thought now. We can show off some of the terrible optional shines, of which there are several. But, yeah, that's Mario Sunshine for the most part. Each stage has several blue coins. We can get 100 coins in each stage, only on certain things. We can also get the optional, so like, for example, here, I'll show off one. Yeah, maybe you caught me doing something sardonic? Oh, God. So the Watermelon Festival, let's just, yeah. This freaking one. Oh, yeah, let's show off the sunglasses. Let's do that, because he's actually right here. I know where he is. There we go. Now we can run around like that. Why wasn't this an option from the beginning? Yeah, so we got the watermelon mission. The way this works, I've actually already shown this off, but the way this works is you have to get a watermelon from up there through all these things and up to here. And at any point in time, if it hits anything, it explodes. It's dead, and you gotta start over. There's also the possibility of going through this. You can also clip through this. I don't actually know the trick to clip through this, so I'm not gonna try it. But you can also just clip through here and get it that way. Which is much better. So yeah, we're not even gonna try that. We're just gonna leave. The Doom we will be playing is Doom 64. It is a specifically separate game. It is effectively Doom 3, even though there is a Doom 3, but whatever. Doom 64 is a sequel to Doom 2, which leads into Doom 5. Which also, by consequence, leads into Doom 4. Oh, that's how you do it, Sierra Mike. Okay. Believe it or not, I've never played Doom 64 either. So, that's new to me, too. Oh, right, I already showed this one off, sorry. I already showed this one off, this is just the red coins out there. Plus there's the Yoshi, plus there's the red coins for each of the secret stages. Plus, there's the 100 coins per stage. So all of that sucks. Yeah, they apparently added a gamma slider in this port. I'm not sure yet, Hazardous. I mean, this is relatively early, and I think I'm okay with just tossing the 3 negatives I've already tossed at this game and leaving it at that. I have never played Hat in Time, that is correct. To my knowledge, Doom 3 is the only one that doesn't fit, yes. I don't remember this one. Which one's this one? Oh, no, I think I know which one this one is. Yeah, no, so what I'm doing right now is I'm just kind of showing off some of these optional ones. I think I've already made my point about the coins, and in fact, I've already given the negatives to the coins. So, that's already a thing. I think it's on the list, Emerald Chaos, yeah. So, Yoshi wants a spiky thing. Yeah, it's a shame how gorgeous and brilliant and vibrant and wonderfully musiced this game is. I think that's at least part of why I remember it so positively. I can tell you another reason I remember this game so positively. And I can. There's like a decisive, concrete reason for it. It's because I'd replay the first few stages, and then I'd put the game down. I've actually talked about this concept before. About how a fairly common thing for me to do is I will go ahead and play through part of a game, and then just put it down before finishing it. The difference is where exactly that moment I quit is, and in Mario Sunshine I quit pretty early. I don't actually remember where to go now. Yeah, my durian luck continues. Looks like we're going up. Oh yeah, speedrunners of this game are legit, and also insane. It is the same Doom guy in Doom 1, 2, 64, 4, and 5. Same Doom guy. I do like Noki Bay. And I would agree with that sentence, though. Noki Bay is probably the only good late game stage. My opinion. Okay, whatever. Where am I going? Oh yeah, this! Okay, so did you know that Yoshi is water soluble? Here, let me demonstrate. Boom! He's just gone. Instantly. Now, hang on, it gets better. Check this out. You have to give me a minute, because this yeah. Literally dissolves, which is just, sure. Yeah, no kidding, Emerald Chaos. Check this out. We don't just need to get Yoshi again. We need to get the fruit again. So anyways, By the way, I'm not even showing off all the secret shines because that would take time and effort. Just showing off what we have unlocked right now. Best Yoshi type? I mean, blue is obviously the answer to that. Oh god, this stage. So this is... So, you remember aiming on the roller coaster? You remember aiming on the coaster, right? Because, well, the last time we were aiming at this gigantic Bowser. Now we gotta aim at those balloons. I guess I should talk to the dude. Where's the dude? He's not there. Where's the dude? Where's the dude? No, these are... I think someone said it in chat. These are fake Yoshis. These are painted Yoshis, so they are actually made of paint. That's why they dissolve in the water. By the way, this is timed. I was stuck on this one for quite a while when I was 100%ing this. Anyways, I think you get the point. Okay, let's show off Noki Bay next. This one isn't too bad if this is the one I'm thinking of. We've been waiting for you. Krampus at the top. You can use this rope. Yeah, no, we're not doing that. I do like Noki Bay. It was a nice, pleasant surprise. And I gave it a couple of positives, so yay. Yeah, no, Noki Bay is actually pretty legit. That's not even terrible. It's if you have control, if you understand how to control yourself, it's not terrible. I don't, of course, so this is going to result in me dying horribly. But you'll notice how this is probably one of the least terrible of the various bonus stars, or whatever you want to call that we've encountered so far of these stages. I'm still not going to get it, but you get the point. Notice how the very thing we're getting refills our air, so that's not even a consideration. I'm going to fail at it miserably, but I stand by my statement. This is nowhere near as bad as the other bonus stages we've been showing. It's good, but, you know. There we go. Where'd you end up? I lost it. There you are. Depth perception is not a skill I have in video games. Completely lost it. Where is it? Where is it? There it is. I think I passed it. Hard to tell. Damn it! I was actually doing pretty well, too. Oh, well. Anyways. Whatever. Moving on. So we did that. We did that. So let's show off the beach. Red coins in the hotel. I mean... So, this doesn't look too bad, right? Do I need to say anything? Remember, Jeff Bezos kills you if you fail. Because he's a mass murderer, apparently. He's just sitting there waiting with the gun. Just kind of fingering it idly like, yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready. I need to go get the thing. No, how's this? I don't even know what his voice sounds like. I don't think I've ever heard him speak ever. I'm not on speaking terms with my father. I mean, for fun, the turbo nozzle, easily Shadow Machine. But for utility, the rocket nozzle. It's just way more useful. Well, surely this is a fun and enjoyable stage, right? I'm having a great time, Junior Shire. I'm so looking forward to people's reactions at the final score this game is most likely going to get. It was a joke, Darth Maduro. I was joking that... So there's a running gag that Jeff Bezos is my dad, which actually started off as people trying to insult me in my YouTube comment section. And I've just sort of kind of taken ownership of that and turned it into a running gag. So, I've never heard Jeff Bezos speak. Pause. I'm not on speaking terms with my father. Listen, it's not my fault I don't know who my father is, okay? It's cool. It's cool. I just need to take all his money. So anyways, that's that stage. And that's all of them, other than getting the blue coins and getting all the secret shines here, of which there are many. I'll show off a couple really quick here. He went to buy milk 40 years ago, something like that. However long it's been. And, so, this one's bullcrap, because what you have to do is you have to actually get Yoshi and then navigate those... Remember, water-soluble. And then you have to navigate those boats out here in order to get rid of that thing. I'm not doing that, but that sucks. Yeah, you gotta navigate from all the way over... somewhere over here, I want to say. I forget where that one connects, but it's somewhere over here. And yeah, I saw the yellow shine bird, which is hysterical. God, what else? There's also that one. Do you see those trees up there? That leads to a shine. What else? Oh yeah, this thing. We'll show off this one. Yeah, then you gotta do the shine itself, which is, of course, a bullcrap stage, like it always is. But there's a lot of cleaning shines, which we haven't really done. What? I'm a little confused by what's happening here. There we go. We already showed off the Pachinko shrine. We're not actually doing it now. We showed it off. That's as much as that gets. And there's a thing up there, too. Yeah, I don't remember what the sand one is. I know it's here somewhere. Yeah, so 100%ing this game totally sucks ores. I don't really have anything to add to that, because I've actually already given that negative, because I knew that walking in. Can't aim that much while doing that. Yeah, let's do the audit. Get on with this so we can play some Doom today and start sucking at that. I really might just turn the difficulty down for Doom. You're probably thinking, why, Lore? To make sure the game was running, I did a quick test here, and I want to show off the controls super quick, okay? Now, we got to go through 700,000 of these intros first. Seriously, there's like 5. We got that. We got this one. Then we got this one. Hang on. Hang on. We're almost done. Last one. I guess there's 4. Are we done? Nope, there is 5. I was wrong. There is a 5th one. Okay, okay. We did it. We got to the game. Jesus Christ. So I'm just going to show off this super quick here. We're not actually playing it right now. I just want to show this off. So, first of all, there's this control. But the left stick is move, and the right stick is aim. So it's kind of a twin stick situation, which is incredibly disorienting. That being said, I'm actually curious of something. Can we turn off the motion control? No, there's a strafe. I don't know how to strafe. Oh, never mind. There's strafing is unbound. Okay, we're unbound on strafing. Okay, hang on. Is there a way to turn off? Oh my god, is there no way to turn off? Okay, here we go. There we go. We'll turn that off. There is a way to turn that off. I think. Yep, okay, okay. Oh, thank god, there's a way to turn that off. So we can just do this. This should be fun. We got the shotgun, as it should be. Anyways, we'll actually play this game in a few hours. Let's finish the audit, shall we? This is a good thing. This is a good screen to have up for the audit. Hang on, let's pop out of that. So, I imagine this audit will be relatively quick. I don't know. I mean, I'm down for options, you know? So, woo! But at the same time, huh? What the hell do I know? Alright, audit list, come on, come on. You can do it. Pop out. There you go. Good boy, good boy. Maybe later, Hazardous, maybe later. I don't click things while I'm streaming for extremely obvious reasons. So this took us 2 days, and... plus 258. I need to figure that out really quick. This is important. Actually, it's 240, so... Well, no, 250. Let's do 250. Yeah, if it was forced, I would be a little bit more bothered by it. But it's not, so we're cool. Right. Seven to the dot. Oh, that's just... I just realized this game was shorter than Mario 64. Although, we also were going for 100% in Mario 64, so that's kind of an asterisk there. Alright. Narrative axis. Let's just race through this really quick. Let's pull up our list, which is right here. Not really any animation. We do have the atmosphere. Yeah, no, sorry. This game has wonderful atmosphere. It's one of its better features. So, yes. No Babylon 5 effect, no background lore, kind of. No banter. Well, we'll put that elsewhere. Branching narrative, no. Camera works, no. Characters. Does Peach deserve a negative? Question mark. Cinematics. We've actually given several negatives for that, so we'll just put that there. Concept story, cutscene, incompetence. Dialogue, doodads. Yeah, very good doodads. Empty text, external continuity, fake drama, foreshadowing, humor. Intro. Peach was in this game. I know it's weird. Yeah, Peach is just airheaded. And I don't have a better way to say that. Just straight up airheaded in this game. It's weird and off. I mean, granted, I'm not exactly asking for every Peach to be consistent, but keep in mind, we've had good Peaches prior to now, historically. So, like, we've had Paper Mario and Super Mario RPG prior to this game coming out. That one. Yeah, I think I'm going to codify that one. Yes, Peach is an airheaded moron. And I keep using that term airheaded. It's not that she's stupid, it's that there's nothing there. She's just kind of staring into space. Huh? What? Outro. I don't like the ending. So, what do we think about the ending? Here, you know what, while we're doing this. Yeah, the ending is just weird and out of place, and the final cutscene is just bizarre. Bowser comes effectively out of nowhere. The actual ending is irritating. The 1 minute, 28 second death, you know what, no. For the 1 minute, 28 second death alone, it's already bad. Thank you, Unicorn Scotch, as always. I do always appreciate... Where's that one going? Arkham Origins, you got it. Give me a moment here, please. And thank you, Prika. Very much. If you know where you want that one to go, please let me know. Okay, so outro was a negative. Sorry, I'm looking at a few things here. Oh no, let's put it here. You got it, Preka. Wow, BC. Yeah, I think we'll go ahead and try to start Doom today. I think we'll do a terrible, short, awful rumination, and then we'll go ahead and start Doom. I need to figure out lunch, too. It's Thanksgiving week, and I haven't been able to go grocery shopping, so I kind of have very little food right now. So I'm going to have to figure something out. I might just have eggs, because I have eggs. Alright. I am super not excited for Doom, no. But I think that's kind of everything. Let me double check something here. Yeah, no, that's everything. So that leaves us with a +10 to story. The cutscenes are crap, but everything else is pretty good, in all honesty. And I stand by that sentence. That's another reason why I remember Mario Sunshine so well, is because everything other than the cutscenes is legit, right? As I've been talking about ever since we first started, just wandering around and enjoying and playing through the levels is fun. And it's fun because so much effort and time was put into making them interesting and visually engaging and audibly engaging, and the Piantas who aren't trying to throw you in jail and so forth and so on. Now, then we have to talk about the gameplay side of things. I'm going to get flamed for this one. Alright, so let's go through the audit list. Let's see what we got here. So there's no real branching quests. There's no animations of note. There's no auto battle. I agree with that, Imposter. I mean, I could, but that's going to get rid of the Doom run, because... I mean, it's... Or I could push back the Doom run and just start late. I still need to finish that rumination, though. There's no alternate leveling. There's not really any backtracking. There's no bestiary. Bosses. Are there any fun bosses in this one? No. There were no bad bosses, but I don't think there was any fun bosses. Check me on this. What do you think about the fight? Bowser was awful! Are you kidding me? Bowser fight's one of the worst fights in the game. But we're not there yet. I usually lump those under outro. And itchy ears. PD Piranha. I mean, I guess... You know what we could do? You know what? Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's give a positive, Lord knows this game needs them, for bosses. Because the squid isn't great, but it's enjoyable enough, and PD Piranha's... Okay, I'm kind of with that. And there's others I can't think of right now. Oh, the eel. Eel's actually a pretty cool fight, although I think I gave the eel a separate positive. Yes, I did notice that hazardous. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's do... King Boo. Yeah, no, that was decent. Again, you see my point. Like, all of these feel like part of an aggregate. Okay, so. Bugs. We'll skip over that. Wiggler was fun. Yep. There's no built-in cheats. Camera is okay. We're going to skip over that, though. We're going to call the camera a wash. One of these days I need to come up with a wash emote. There's no co-op controls. I think we're going to call the controls a wash. I don't think they're negative worthy, but I think they were still figuring it out. I think it wasn't until the Galaxies that they actually figured out how to do 3D platforming controls. So let's Let's call that one a wash. That being said, Flood absolutely gets a plus, because duh. Actually, that goes over there. Let's scroll to the right a little bit here. Mario 64 got a negative for controls. To put it into perspective. Difficulty curve. I could easily be talked into a negative for difficulty curve, because even in the earlier stages, the difficulty is just absolutely all over the place. There is no difficulty curve to this game whatsoever. There's a difficulty seismic chart to this game. Like, even in later stages, there's some levels where it's just like... I mean, let's go to the variant. Compare the stages we just did today with the goopy lava level without flood, the floodless lava level, versus getting the chomp into the water. Just compare those two side by side, because they're literally right next to each other. So, yeah, no, that is an awful difficulty curve. And again, unlike Mario 64, it's pretty much mandatory to do them in order. So because you could argue very easily that Mario 64 deserves a difficulty curve negative, but you kind of can't, because Mario 64 is a non-linear game by design, whereas this game is a linear game by design. When you have stages like this, we have to judge the difficulty curve of those stages. I just realized something. Damn it. We have to give 2 negatives to difficulty curve. We have to. It's one of the worst difficulty curves I've ever seen. That's how that works. Checksters did get a negative. It's negative number 8. No difficulty options, no encounters, no... I'm gonna say pass on enemy variety. Let's call that a wash. I almost said, let's call that a flood. Let's call that a wash. We'll see, Mr. Red. I don't think this game is going to rate very high, and something about that makes me very sad. I am going to give a plus for graphics. This game looks good even on the GameCube. Always did. Oh, I already gave those pluses. Damn it! Okay, whatever. We already gave those pluses. Yeah, maybe I should just use Flood for the emo. It's not a bad idea. Guidance and flow of exploration. Yeah, I mean, there is... So they do get the positive, which I stand by. For the same reason we gave it to Galaxy, for the same reason we gave it to Mario 64. The intro title and the cinematic. What I'm hesitating on is the secrets in this game are non-existent in terms of hinting, for the most part. It's the same problem that Super Metroid had. Super Metroid had good guidance and flow of exploration, except where it didn't. And I think that's the same situation here. Because sometimes it's like, you know, there's something over there, or maybe you should try this area, or maybe there's a coin path or something, right? And then the rest of the time, good frickin' luck! So I think we're going to add both a plus and a negative, for the same reason we did to Super Metroid. So, yeah. Yep, give that a negative. We did give that a positive, which it deserves. We gave that a positive. We gave that 2 positives, which that deserves. Levels and stages. Please tell me we gave at least 1 stage plus. We did. Okay, thank God. Because we gave a lot of stages negatives. lives, penalty for failure. Now, this game isn't super punishing, so I'm not actually going to put the negative there, or I could. But the problem is, and I did give this game a negative for it, so this only matters for the audit. Do you think we should put it under penalty for failure live system, or padding seconds in minutes problem? You're probably thinking, what do you mean? Well, every time you die, you do that stupid horn sound effect, and you have the slow fade out, then you tossed out, then you go back in, then you do... And I don't know why I'm saying this. As I'm saying this out, this is clearly a padding problem. It just drags the game down. Even when you game over, you just have to start over, hit yes, start over at the default spot, go get the sprite, the nozzle you need again, go back to the entry, go back into the stage, watch the cutscenes again. Yeah, no, it's got some padding problems. Map? There's a map in this game? Let's see here. We did give a plus to music, which it needs. Outro. Right, we haven't judged the outro yet. How would I add Luigi to this game as something other than a co-op character? Well, first we'd make him a co-op character. First thing. And then we'd add co-op in general. And then we'd improve everything else. However... what I would do is I'd have Luigi... You remember how in Mario Odyssey, after you beat the game, spoilers, Peach is, like, hanging out in all of the areas, just kind of lounging, and that's what I do with Luigi, if you want to make him non-playable. Each area, Luigi's just relaxing, you know, just having a good settle. Just chilling. So the only question for me is, do we give the outro 1 negative or 2? The score is not going to be good. Because let's look at this. So we've got Corona Mountain. Now, the first part of Corona Mountain, I'm actually with. As I said, I'm with that. But then we have that god-damned boat. Okay, we get past the boat. We have the cloud section, which is kind of irritating. And then we have the final boss fight, which is not a good boss fight. And, as we've already shown off, is literally a buggy boss fight. So, yeah, no, 2 negatives. Absolutely. I don't even know why I'm arguing this. Absolutely 2 negatives. Literally, we're just giving 1 negative for the boat, though. So I guess that's actually not really an outro negative. So we'll give 1 negative to the outro and 1 negative for the stage. And then we'll give the other negative just for the outro. Okay. Scroll over. Princess Peach sections. No, that would have been cool. I think we gave a plus to Delfino Plaza. And we did. In fact, I actually gave it 2 pluses, because Delfino Plaza is one of the best hubs I've ever seen in gaming. So, yeah, no, Delfino Plaza is awesome. Replayability. Do note that by the nature of this game, it does not get a second positive no matter what. Because the mechanics of this game do not inform replay. Remember how we do that? The first plus for replayability is super vague. Is this game fun to replay? That's all that requires. The second plus requires mechanics to be there to help add variety or encourage replay. And the third plus requires very, very, very extensive in-game purposes in order to encourage replay, like a roguelite or something like that. So the game is very linear by its very nature, and therefore does not get the second positive no matter what. So the question is, does it get the first positive? You know, is this game fun to replay? I will admit, I've only played through this game 3 times? Twice or 3 times. All the way through. I should clarify that. I've only beaten this guy. That's actually a better way to phrase it. As I mentioned, I used to replay this game up to the first few stages several times, because that's fun. Yeah, I'm really torn on this one, believe it or not. That's why I'm debating it as just because if we were to define this as do I enjoy replaying the first few stages of a game, then that's first of all, it's a really low bar. Bleh. It's a really low bar to pass in order to get a replay plus. But second of all, that would apply for most games in general. Ninja Gaiden 1 is really fun until you get to about stage 4. Remember what we keep talking about, how every Mario game has hell levels, and once you get to them, this game just starts sucking? Mario Sunshine's no exception to that. It wasn't until, honestly, Galaxy when they finally stopped having hell levels. Yeah, I think we're going to be harsher about, which we've done. We're going to be consistent about that, and we're not going to give it a plus for replay. God, that hurts to do that, but there it is. That's kind of everything. I mean, there are Yoshi drums in this game, but I don't think they're a plus. We already mentioned that. We already mentioned that. Oh, I do need to get that one. And that's everything, which brings us to... Oh my god. Oh, but then the wrong thing. Plus 10 to story, -5 to gameplay. And the problem is I stand by that. If anything, that's probably lowballing it. If we actually bothered to sit here and go 100% this game, it would be easy to come up with more negatives. We're not doing that because that's a waste of time. You may or may not have noticed, this game has gotten 5 separate negatives for the 100% value of the game. Let's see what the golden number is, shall we? Get rid of that. I wonder what this game would be like if it wasn't rushed. I really do. As I mentioned earlier, a true polishing pass is what this game needed. They needed to go through and fix tiny little things everywhere. Okay, so that's... I wrote this down. I just wrote this down. Yeah, in all honesty, almost every major negative I have for this game boils down to the stage design. Let's be clear about this. A Mario game pisses me off on the stage design. That's just... What do I even need to say about that? Oh, that's... Oh, okay, so hang on. So let's get this in. That's not good. 18, so... That's terrible. It's like playing a Mega Man game with bad level design, which we've done, by the way. I need to do some math. 39, 17, 39, 17, 39. As a reminder, we've kind of altered some of the weights between density and the like. If a game, so the way that would work out, Walker, is we do actually have a category for that. I call that end game or post game. And there are games we have given positives to that too. I'll name an example. Super Mario Odyssey. Super Mario Odyssey got a 3 positives for the 100% factor because it's just that much fun to go 100% that game. I just I was grinning from ear to ear, except for the 2 ones that sucked, through the entire thing. It's like a 40-hour, I think, game. How long was Odyssey? Odyssey was a really long game. Of course, it's not here. Whatever. There it is. It's a 46-hour game, and I was just grinning for almost all of that. That's 100%ing. Oof. Okay, so it looks like the story score does drag it up above 0, which I was kind of expecting that. So it isn't a net negative on the golden number, but that is an awful score. Hang on. Let's actually see how that sits compared to other Mario games. Hang on. So, what do we got here? So there's Mario Odyssey, which is 136. There's Paper Mario, which is 122. There's Super Mario World, which is 121. Mario Brothers 3 was 83. Mario Maker 2 was 32. Mario 64 is 18. Mario Brothers 2 is 13. Mario Sunshine is 12.54. I somehow missed the galaxies in that list because I'm stupid. There we go. Galaxy 2 was 178. There we go. I also missed Paper Mario 2 for some strange reason. Whatever. Yeah, that's actually not the lowest Mario. Barely. Paper Mario... Wake up. Mario Sunshine is 12.54. Mario Brothers 1 is 7.68. Super Paper Mario is 0. But yeah, a 12, especially under the new golden number system, where about 40 is actually an averagely good game. This scored 12. I am in no way happy about that. Yeah, I agree. That hurts a bit. That hurts a bit to see that. But as I always do at the end of these, and this is why we did the recent golden number recheck, I check my thoughts, and that's about right. It is pretty much tied with Super Mario Bros. 2 for most of the same reasons. That's not quite true. If I'm being honest, if it wasn't for the story absolutely dragging the score up, it would probably be a net negative game. I love the atmosphere. I love the Piantas. I love the music. I love the visuals. I love just traveling around and enjoying the world that they created. Isle Delfino is awesome, and I love it when the Piantas are in future games because of that, in Paper Mario 2, in the Mario Karts, etc. But that gameplay, they just... I'm going to say that on the rumination. I need to make a note. I need to say that. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. I think I agree with the people in chat who are awesome for suggesting this. I'm going to go ahead and try to get some groceries before I can't, because I haven't been able to get groceries in a couple weeks. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sit down. I'm going to do the rumination on the video. While that's rendering and uploading, I'm going to go get groceries. And I don't know when I'll be back. It usually takes me a while because it's a bit of a trip and all that fun stuff. But when we come back, we will go ahead and play a premiere run of Doom 64, which I don't know if I'd say I'm looking forward to so much as I'm wildly curious how it's going to go. So, I hope to see you in however many hours that takes me.